Welcome to another Free Gamers production.
Okay, so this is round 2 of the little friendly tournament where I dusted off the old vampires. If you have a look at the previous video, I go over the list in more details. And we're facing Dark Elves this time. There's a fantastically painted Dark Elf army. And I'll go over the list here in a minute. There's some shades in the woods there and witch elves and so on. So he's got a level 4 sorceress on the Dark Pegasus, some cold ones. He's got a dude on the manticore and some core crossbows. And then he's got the hag in there with the ogre blade and all these sort of things, strikes first and so on. So I want to really avoid that ogre blade hag there. He's got a Hydra, nicely painted Hydra there next to them. The scenario put the witch elves way out on the left flank. We'll have a look at the scenario in a minute. There's I think they're shades, bolt thrower, and so that's the deployment. And he's also got some dark riders who scouted over here on my right flank. And they're actually in skirmish formation. I think maybe because they're on smaller bases. Maybe there's my direwolves with the zombie trying to ride a direwolf there, and that's my extreme right flank. There's some ghouls, and then the Black Knights. The Black Knights have got the White King and the White Lord BSB in there, and Heinrich Kemmler, the level 4 necromancer, is in there as well. And then I'm hiding the Terrorgeist behind the building there. There's Heinrich Kemmler, the level 4. VonKeith on his Abyssal Terror and some more hounds there. And then this scenario is that one where you've got to hold something in reserve, and then after deployment you decide, well, you tell your opponent which side, you secretly write down where they're going to go. So the table you're not allowed to deploy within 18 inches of the edges. So I put my Blood Knights and my Bats on my left flank, and he put his Witch Elves on his left flank. So they're not going to meet. And so that sort of leaves me vulnerable here. I don't want those Witch Elves and the Hydra and his Manticore coming into my Black Knights, where Heinrich Kemmler, that's my bunker for Heinrich Kemmler, the Necromancer. So I'm going to try and attack the Cold One Knights. May not be a good idea, but the Blood Knights will take on the Cold One Knights on that flank, and I'm just going to try and avoid the Witch Elves for now. I can't really take them on with the Black Knights. And just before we start, on the table next to us, there was a nicely painted Empire army facing a nicely painted Dwarf army. So I think we had 8 players maybe, and everybody's army was really nicely painted. So it was a high quality painting event. So just a quick shot of the game next door.
Let's go. Turn 1.
Alright, so back to our game. The Dark Elves got the first turn, and you'll notice here that the Witch Elves, just to the right of the screen there, they have, he's had some little item where he could extend the range of his spells, and he's got 5 of them. So he extended the range of his Steed of Shadows, I think it is, and he flew the Witch Elves right up my right flank. So now I've got the Witch Elves on my right flank. They were over there, now they're right up on my right flank, threatening my Black Knights, my Black Knight bunker, which has got my 2 White Lord and White King and my level 4 in there. So I've got to get them out of trouble, because I don't want those Witch Elves charging. But those little dogs, with my Vanguard move, I turned the dogs around to at least threaten. So there's the Black Knights have reformed and then used reserve move to move away from the Witch Elves, and he's got his Cold One Knights and his, I think, a Beastmaster or something on the Manticore. So what I've done is he threw out a vortex there, so I used drill to move around the vortex. So the Blood Knights are ready. So if he does come in, my plan is to drill out and countercharge with the Blood Knights, and I'm going to hope that the Blood Knights can hold a charge. Maybe his Manticore will go frenzied or something. So it's going to be all up to the Blood Knights again. Got 6 Blood Knights with a standard, so I'm hoping they can hold a charge from the Cold One Knights and the Manticore. Maybe I'm asking too much, but I've set up for flank charges with VonKeith on his Abyssal Terror on the flank. So it'll be up to, in his turn 2, is he going to charge with everything into the Blood Knights? And then I've just got to hope that the Blood Knights can hold. So I have no idea. We will find out.
Turn 2.
Okay, so in my turn, I did my vanguard move with my dogs sort of backwards, point them this way, and then they've moved twice, once, and then their reserve moved and turned around here, so that they're just in range for the Witch Elves to have to declare a charge. And so what's going to happen is the Witch Elves have to declare a charge, and then the Dark Riders there are going to charge in the flank, which will block the charge of the Witch Elves. So because they're charging different facings. Anyway, and over here, the Blood Knights have thrown down the gauntlet here to the Cold One Knights and his dude on the Manticore. I think it's a Beastmaster on the Manticore, and he's got some decent ward save. If you hit him with Strength 5 or something, he's got a 4-up ward save. So that'll be telling later on. We'll see what happens there. So the Witch Elves are going to have to charge. I've cowardly running away with my Black Knight. So that's the drawing out of the Witch Elves. So he decides the Manticore went frenzied, so he has to charge with that. And then he has to charge with the frenzied Witch Elves, and he decides to go in with the Dark Riders as well into the flank. So what will happen is the Dark Riders will charge first and then block the charge of the Witch Elves. But I think because they had to declare a charge, it becomes a failed charge. So they just sit there, I think. I'm not sure, because there was no way they could get in. So in they come. Big charge. I've counter-charged and used drill with the Blood Knights here. So his Dark Rider's gone in the flank, and the Witch Elves are stuck. They can't get in. So he wanted to move them again, but I don't think they can move after they've declared a charge and couldn't get in. And then we got the big combat. Can the Blood Knights hold? And they do pretty well this round. He did roll pretty bad for his attacks, and I did save pretty well. And so the Blood Knights are going to hold, and so VonKeith is lined up to get into the flank. And there's the Witch Elf stuck there, and I'm just got my... so then, in my turn, so the bottom of turn 2, I charged VonKeith in here, and then I had a disaster with the Blood Knights. I rolled 3 1s for their saves, and no regens or anything. But luckily I got the BSB over there, so I didn't crumble too much. And I've only got the standard bearer left, because there's no champion. And I lost that combat. He just rolled so many 4-up saves. And then I decided the ghouls were getting shot to pieces, so they charged in there. I thought I might jag a wound on the Hydra. I was going to call it a Charybdis. The Hydra did nothing, just gave the Hydra an extra move. Turn 3.
Turn 3.
Okay, so we're into turn 3. The Witch Elves and the Dark Riders have taken care of my dire wolves out on that flank, and the ghouls tried to put a wound on here. I thought I might get a poison off somewhere, but I might have got one off and he saved it anyway. So the Hydra is advancing, and you can see his Witch Elves are way out of the picture. And then the combat, I had one Blood Knight left, and he survived the combat, and then in my turn I was able to raise the Blood Knights back up to virtually full strength again. So the Cold One Knights are in trouble. This combat's going on forever. He keeps rolling 4-up ward saves. I keep whacking him, and he keeps dispelling my spectral doppelganger. Every time I got it off, he just dispelled it. So I didn't. I should have tied up his wizard somehow. That's 2020 hindsight. So if you want to have spectral doppelganger go off, you've either got to tie up their wizard so he can't dispel it, or get a bonus from a mortis engine or something. I've got Heinrich Kemmler on his horse here in the Black Knights, and he's they're keeping the battle standard nearby, but I probably need him on the mortis engine. That's what I might add. I do have a Coven throne I'm converting over, I guess. And then that spell, he's got that little item which allows him to fly the Witch Elves up, which extends the range of his spell. I've moved the Terrorgeist has gone over the top. He's going to go and eat a bolt thrower in a minute or something. and that the combat there just keeps going on and on. But the good thing for me is the Blood Knights are back, and they're going to finish off the cold ones. I've lost my ghouls, and there are. There's the witch elves. So his sorceress comes over here, uses this item. He had 5 of them, so he could extend the range, and he flies the witch elves up behind me. So I'm looking okay there. The Terrorgeist is going to eat some elves. And there you go. As you can see, the witch elves are now flown over here. They're right behind me now. But I still have 1 unit of dire wolves, which I can use to deflect them. And then I can turn the Black Knights around and flank them or something, maybe. Because once they kill the dire wolves, they'll have to overrun. So it's okay there. I'm not going to have to fight the witch elves. And eventually I would probably get through the guy on the manticore. As I said, the Blood Knights are going to finish off the Cold One Knights, and these dire wolves are going to be very handy in deflecting the witch elves away from the rear of the Black Knights. So that's handy. Very handy unit, 40-point units of dire wolves I've discovered in 2 games. There's the witch elves, thinking they're going to get in there maybe. And we sort of run out of time here, but the Blood Knights finish off the cold ones and then go into the flank of the manticore. And there's my wolves. They're just going to deflect the witch elves. And at about now, we decide we're going to run out of time. So that's about all. We're not going to see what will happen here, but the witch elves will get diverted by the dire wolves. And now the Blood Knights are in there as well. And he kills off my bats. My bats die, I think. He zapped them away. So eventually that manticore, he held me up for a long time. That extra ward save, whatever item it is, gives him a 4-up ward. And he kept rolling 4-ups and kept dispelling my spectral doppelganger. So I have learned a tactic there. You've got to tie up the enemy wizard if you want to use spectral doppelganger with any sort of reliability. And now the Blood Knights are in there as well. So he's still in a challenge, but the extra flank and the banner might help me in that case. But unfortunately, that's about it. So we decided just to call it a draw. I think I was doing okay. Diverted the witch elves away. He still had the Hydra, but he's lost his Cold One Knights, and he's about to lose the Manticore eventually. Depends how many 4-ups he can roll, or if he can run away. And the Terrorgeist is behind him now, going to eat a bolt thrower. He still has a little bit of shooting left. But it was a good game. It just takes a long time. Those Dark Elves, they roll to hit with all those minuses and so on, but extra attacks. Just takes a lot of dice rolling to get through all the Dark Elf shooting. And then this combat dragged on forever. So anyway, we ran out of time. It was about turn 4. We called it, and we called it a draw, but I have learnt some lessons. I probably want to put the Necromancer on a Mortis engine. I can see why that's good, because I've wasted a lot of points on that Black Knight bunker that I was afraid to put into combat. And the White Lord and the White King, I probably only just need the Battle Standard Bearer. That'll give me some points to spend. I can see Blood Knights are really good. I only had 6. They were down to 1 guy left here, and the other game they were down to 2. So probably 8 would be a safe number that you could... they could absorb a charge and then you can bring them back. So I did learn a bit. I think I forgot to scream with the Terrorgeist. Maybe he just passed his leadership test. So a few things to learn. So the vampires will be back. It was good fun, but I missed having magic missiles and so on, because he had his sorceress flying around on the Pegasus, and I just didn't have any magic missiles or any way to deal with him. Probably more bats to tie down the sorceress. And maybe if I got Spectral Doppelganger off once, it would have been through this Manticore a lot quicker, I think. Depends on things. Anyway, that's the dice, isn't it? Alright, so thanks for watching. That's a short report. We only made it to turn 4, but the vampires were doing okay. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.
Well, that was different.
Yep, lousy, but different.